For Inside Carolina, I'm Taylor Vippolis, and this is the Insider Rundown, where I'll cover what I'm hearing when it comes to UNC football. As Carolina looks to start 3-0 for the second consecutive season for just the first time since 1996-1997, there's been an emphasis this week in the practices from the coaching staff on punching first. You look at the two games the Tar Heels have played so far, and they'll point to two different mindsets. In the season opener, they took it to South Carolina in Charlotte in comparison to the App State game, where they were reacting instead of initiating. Against a tough-minded Big Ten brand like Minnesota, UNC wants to recreate its Week 1 performance where it was setting the tone with its physicality. All Carolina has to do is follow big Willie Lampkin's lead up front. There were questions of how a lineman of his smaller stature would hold up at the Power 5 level, but the early returns are that he's, without question, UNC's best offensive lineman. On top of that, Pro Football Focus backs up that eye test with grades in pass protection and run blocking that are team highs by a good margin. He's been instrumental in why Carolina has been able to deploy a more balanced attack with both British Brooks and Omarion Hampton running behind the gaps he's creating, as UNC is 9th in the NCAA with 243.5 rushing yards per game. However, the big plays have been lacking from the Tar Heels, and the belief there is that UNC is handcuffed offensively without a true number one option at receiver. After the NCAA egregiously held up its ruling of Tez Walker being ineligible for 2023, Carolina needs somebody else to step up as a deep threat option for Drake May. The hope there is that Nate McCullum will step into that role now that Mac Brown has stated he'll be a full participant Saturday. May's deep passing attempts have been reduced this year, and the team desperately needs receivers that can create separation vertically to unlock the offense's full potential. If it's not McCullum against Minnesota, I'd like to see more opportunities downfield for J.J. Jones, who has averaged an impressive 17.6 yards per catch in his Carolina career, to be that difference maker. Speaking of downfield, defensively, UNC will have its hands full against a big, imposing Minnesota offensive line that keeps its quarterback clean and whose pass block grade ranks 4th nationally. Last week against Eastern Michigan, they didn't even attempt one pass beyond 20+ yards, and the Golden Gophers can effectively neutralize a pass rush by getting the ball out quick. I would love to see UNC's corners press and force Minnesota to beat them over the top to allow for more spots to create discomfort in the pocket with a player like Kamon Rucker, who leads the country in quarterback pressures. We'll see how that and more plays out as we're back in Kenan Stadium to see which team keeps their perfect record intact. In the meantime, stay tuned to Inside Carolina for all the latest leading to kickoff.